Good afternoon. Let me just make sure that I am live. And we are live. So good afternoon, everybody. Carol Buckalew. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and thank you for joining me today. Today I've got a very quick and easy birthday card. You know, sometimes we need a quick card. We've forgotten, or you know, we ran out of time, whatever the case may be. You know, it's just good to have something that you can make quickly. This card uses the Celebrate with Tags stamp set and the coordinating dies. And this is a fun little set, and I've used this a few times already. I've made some Christmas tags with it, but there are, you know, 2 sheets of dies, and you get a couple of sentiment labels. You get a gift card holder that is also a tag. There's a little snowflake here, a round sentiment label, something that would kind of just punch out points of light. And then we have some candles, some birthday candles. We're going to use those today. A little mitten, and the stamp set stamps out the mitten, and then you can die cut it. It's adorable. We have another sentiment label. A gift tag is here as well. Some hearts. So just a really fun, versatile set to have on hand. And let's get started with our card. So this card uses the 2022-2024 In Color Designer Series paper, the 6x6. And as you can see, my pack is well loved. I still have some left, but I'm running out. But there's some cute polka dots, plaid, a little flower print, some stripes in the pack. And each of the 5 new in colors, and so that's a lot of fun. And the card that I made today is primarily in those 2022-2024 in colors. And then I mentioned a birthday candle, and my birthday candle is from the Real Red and White 6x6 glimmer paper that came out in the mini catalog, and it's just such fun paper. And I thought it'd be cool to cut the birthday candle out from this paper. And it's probably hard for you to see the glimmer on it, but it's just really pretty. This red makes gorgeous bows for Christmas wreaths. Just an FYI. All right. Set my card sample here aside. I am using a Parakeet Party standard A2 card base. And then we're going to have a few panels on the front of our card. This white panel is going to get layered up, like so. And then I have a 2-inch strip of the DSP that I'm just going to kind of put as a band across our card, about 2/3 of the way down. And I need to know where to stamp my balloons on this white panel. And so I've already made a little check mark. I'm sure it's too late for you to see. And when I go ahead and put that band on, I'll be covering this line up, so you won't see it. But I'm just going to lightly kind of trace across there in pencil. And again, that line is probably too light for you to see, but I can see it. That's what's important. Hey Faith, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Yeah, it is a bright card. The in colors too are just they work so well together. I just love them to death. So I'm going to first stamp our balloon in the yeah, I forgot, Parakeet Party. Oh, good grief, how could I forget? I'm going to go ahead and stamp this, and the reason I drew that line across there, I just want to make sure that the balloon strings hang down below that line, and that they're covered. There we go. And what's fun about this balloon stamp, it's got polka dots on it, I don't know if you can see that. You'll see it when I stamp the darker color here in a minute. But it's got little polka dots on it, which kind of go with the paper as well, which is a lot of fun. And I'm going to stamp my next balloon in Sweet Sorbet, another one of the 22-24 in colors. And I'm going to vary the height and maybe come down a little bit with that one. And we'll stamp him right there. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I just need to clean my stamp off. I have an empty stamp case that I put my my chamois in, and this is wet, and then I can rinse it out. But it stays moist inside this case, and it's great to use for cleaning your stamps when you got a lot of stamping to do. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp a third balloon in Starry Sky. The only in color I didn't use on this card was the Tahitian Tide. I like the color. I just chose not to use it for this card. And I'm going to stagger my balloon here. There we go. So you can definitely see the polka dots on that balloon. You can see them on the red too as well. Very good. Okay. Let me get my stamp cleaned off, and we'll go ahead. Oh, you know what? I actually am going to use the stamp again and the Starry Sky ink. I have pre-die cut my sentiment label. That is going to go onto a parakeet party mat. Hey Akiko, thanks for joining. So let me get the balloons out of the way, and I will go ahead and get this stamped up. And let me get the Starry Sky ink out once again. You can see I was watercoloring with my ink. The lid is full of ink. Kind of have too much. Make sure I have good coverage here, and see if I can get this on the first go. I'm holding my breath, just so you know. And I'm happy with that. We'll take it. Very good. Okay, so that is our sentiment label. I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to go ahead, while I have this ink out, I am going to go ahead, this is my inside panel, and I'm going to take our balloon again in Starry Sky ink, and I am going to stamp 2 balloons down in the corner here, just to kind of make our card look festive. Ooh, I almost dropped that stamp on my panel. That would have been a disaster. Not a disaster, but I can cut another panel, but I wouldn't have wanted to do that. And I'll stamp a second balloon. Very good. And while I'm using the balloon stamp, I'm going to go ahead and pull my envelope over. And I'm going to also stamp in Starry Sky the balloons on the envelope front down in the corner here. And hope I don't get a halo. My Starry Sky is really juicy. Hey Mary, thanks so much for joining. Appreciate it. You're not late. And I'll stamp a second balloon here in the corner. There we go. And the last thing I need to do is I'm going back here to my inside panel, and I chose an additional greeting for the inside of the card, and it says, "Let's celebrate you." So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that greeting on our card panel. And again, I'm holding my breath. See if we got it straight. We got it straight. Woo, okay. I'm going to put this ink away because me and dark inks, they love to get on me. I'm just checking my fingers. Make sure I don't have any ink on me. It looks like I'm good. Okay. So let's go ahead and we can go ahead and assemble the front of our card. Oh, let me do one more thing first before we do that. So here is the little candle that I cut out on the white glimmer paper. And yes, like wearing a white t-shirt, Mary, for sure. Yeah, I came across, I had a shirt on the other day and I looked down and I'm like, what do I have all over my shirt? Guess. And it was Memento ink, so that will like never come out. But anyway, I cut a single candle out using the white glimmer paper. And I just wanted to show you that this glimmer paper, now the red you wouldn't do it on probably, but on the white glimmer paper, that glimmer paper will accept ink if you have a blending brush and you want to blend some ink onto the glimmer paper. It works beautifully, and and the color stays on, you know, once it's dry, and the glimmer still shows through, so it's really beautiful. In fact, I just made a card and did some ink blending on the white glimmer paper. But you can also use, like we can use our Stampin' Blend alcohol markers on embellishments. You can also use them on the glimmer paper. And so I'm just going to color in our candle flame. And it doesn't take long at all to dry. And it just gives it a bit of a more realistic look. But I love those fun little touches. Okay, now we can put our card together. I am going to go ahead and glue up our piece of DSP, our band here, onto the front white panel. So when I got up this morning, it wasn't raining. And I thought, hallelujah, the sun even was trying to poke out. Well, guess what? It started raining again. This is our 5th day of rain. It has been, today is a bit warmer, but yesterday and the day before, we were having winter-like temperatures. It was cold. I was freezing. And I'm not usually that cold, you know, but it was quite chilly. The wind was blowing, and but anyway, tomorrow we're supposed to see the sun, and I can't wait. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this panel onto another piece of DSP from the same pack, and this is in Sweet Sorbet. This was Orchid Oasis, by the way. So I'm using 4 of the 5 new ink colors for this card. But I love how all of these colors kind of go together, and they're just so bright and cheerful. And this would make a great, you know, this card would be good for anybody. It'd be good for, like, you know, a little kid with the bright colors probably. But really anybody would, I think, like to receive this card. So we've got our panel there all set. I'll go ahead and put this on the card front. And I just realized I might have messed myself up here. Let me find my tweezers. I just realized, yeah, the colors are pretty. Oh, Faith, I realized I put my glue down, and I'm like, I hope, let me see here. Oh no, I'm good. I was getting ahead of myself. I'm like, I need to put that candle in, but it doesn't go under the DSP. Never mind. We'll go ahead and get this glued up to the card front. Oh, Faith, you're still needing rain. I know, it's either feast or famine, isn't it? It's crazy. The weather anymore is just crazy, in my opinion. All right, that is that. I'm going to go ahead and put this inside panel in. I had set that aside just to kind of dry for a minute. Those dark inks need a little bit of extra time to dry. And Anybody that stamps will tell you they've learned that the hard way. I know I have. Because you'll get ink. Let me scooch that up a little bit more if it'll go. It's stuck down. But we've got a good margin there. All right. I'm going to glue up our sentiment label. Well, Faith, I hope that you get some. I hope you get some rain soon, some needed rain. Does California have a rainy season? I know that I know that New Mexico and I think Arizona do. Oh, hey, Mom, thank you. Appreciate you joining. I know they have like a monsoon season, and which just was not too long ago, and they get most of their rain for the year during their monsoon season. I just wondered if California had a rainy time of year. All right. And I'm just looking here. I need a new blade on my paper trimmer. You probably can't see that, but there's some little fuzzies, and it just means that my blade is getting dull in my trimmer. I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and just lightly skim them. I'm not cutting the paper. I'm just lightly skimming them across the edge just to clean up any little fuzzies. And I think we're good. Okay, I can put my glue on for now. I'm going to go ahead and put some Stampin' dimensionals on the back of our sentiment label. And I want to be mindful that I am going to be tucking that candle in the center here. Let me make sure I have it right side up. I do. So I just want to be mindful not to put, a Stampin' dimensional right up against that edge. I want to leave just a little bit of room there in the middle for the candle that we're gonna tuck its end underneath the sentiment label. And let me get these Stampin' dimensionals covers off. So you get your rain in the winter time, okay? But very little, yeah. Well, hopefully this winter. I guess spring, you guys would get snow runoff maybe from the mountains, too, to kind of boost up your water supply, I would imagine. And so I'm just kind of eyeing this. I want to center this the sentiment label between the white space and the blue band here, and that looks pretty good. Let me just make sure I've got it straight, and I do. We can go ahead and press that down. And our little candle, I am going to need to adhere with glue. It could be done. I mean, you could chop up your Stampin' dimensionals and try and, try and pop this up with Stampin' dimensionals, but I am going to go the glue route. Mary, I was watching Amy's video yesterday, and she was explaining about, cutting her dimensionals in half and how she liked it. And I typed into the comments, hashtag team half dimensional. I think she got a kick out of that. But you either like them or you don't. When I first started out, I was using full-size dimensionals, and I'll tell you, you can go through a lot of dimensionals quickly. So I started, I think I'm going to need to do this with my fingers. I started cutting mine in half, which is what Amy and Mary do, and I really, really like them a lot better. So I'm centering that candle right up the middle there, and he's got a bit of glimmer. I don't know if you can see it or not. Whoops, sorry, I got off camera. But there's some pretty shine on the candle. And just to spruce things up a little bit, I did this on my original card, but you can come back in with some Wink of Stella and give your balloons a little bit of a shine. And I'm just kind of swirling it around there, and I just got a big glob of Winkostella on that center balloon. But it makes it a little more festive. I love Winkostella. This is like the best stuff. If you don't get too much on, like I just did on that center balloon, it'll be all right. It'll dry. There we go. And it just gives it a little extra shine. Makes the card a little more festive. There we go. So that is the card. And we have our envelope. And then I chose a piece of the sweet sorbet to put onto our envelope front. Yeah, it's kind of an ongoing thing about the full-size dimensionals versus the half dimensionals. Just kind of something fun. But you either like it or you don't. And let me make sure I've got this. Oh, let me scooch this up a bit. There we go. And I will take my scissors and go ahead and trim around the envelope flap. So if you are in need of a quick card, this definitely is a good option. You know, and the prints are pretty in the Designer Series paper pack for the 2022-2024 in colors. So you get some options, and you've got some color options, and it just makes for a pretty card and a quick card. So that is it for, oh, no naked envelopes. Yes, that's a hashtag going around as well. No naked envelopes. So we've got our envelope completed here and our card, and that is it for today. I want to thank you all for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.